Hold on, my brother, there is hope for you. God is faithful, faithful if you believe. Be encouraged, my sister, His love will see you through. God is faithful, faithful if you believe. God is faithful, 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 faithful if you believe. All things are possible. Just put your trust in the Lord. God is faithful.
Listen,
Faithful.
God can because God can. And if you just hold on for a little while longer,
You had some sickness and some pain. And that old devil, don't let the devil drive you insane. God is faithful.
faithful is our God.
Right by your side if you believe. All things are possible. Just put your trust in the Lord.
God will take care
Yes,
of you.
faithful. Yes, He is.
I'm telling you, God will help you through your situation.
Don't give up on God.
Don't give up on yourself. And don't you dare give up on our God. Hold on to hope. God never fails. God hears and God answers prayer. If you just hold out, if you just hold on, and the Word of God teaches us that God is faithful. Faithful, faithful is our God. Don't you know that if He saved you, He will deliver you? If He saved you, He will preserve you. If He saved you, He will sustain you. If He saved you, He will prosper you. If He saved you, He'll be with you through the thick and the thin, through the ups and the downs, through the good times and the bad. He'll tell your anguish. He'll bring your wounded heart. God is faithful. God never fails. God hears and answers prayer. If you just hold out,
Hold out, hold out.
if you just hold on,
Hold on. Faithful.
faithful,
Faithful.
God is faithful.
God is faithful.
Faithful is our God.
Faithful. Faithful. God is faithful. Yes, He is. Oh, faithful, 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 faithful. Yes, He is.
Gospel 88.7 WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
Port Republic, Atlantic City, and now on FM translator 100.3 W262CF, Atlantic City, Pleasantville.
Tribute, and actually his dad preached years ago at my dad's church. So, and my brother Bishop Luke Witherspoon II was instrumental of having him at the church. So I have fond memories. A dynamic man of God and a dynamic preacher. So that's what's going on the religious front. Okay, now there's some community food assistance pantry, the Union Baptist Temple, 335 North Pennsylvania Avenue in Atlantic City, every second Thursday of each month. The next one is July 10th. It's coming up. All right, and it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. or until food supplies are gone. Social distancing is required. They also have baby and adult diapers, feminine hygiene products are available. The Union Baptist Temple host and hostess ministry will be distributing clothing. All right. So due to the plastic bag ban, please bring your own bag. Any questions, call Sharon Lewis at 301-346-4776 or Brenda Winstead at 609-788-4805. Also, the New Mount Calvary Outreach Ministry food distribution, monthly food distribution, 6755 Mill Road in Mays Landing, New Jersey will be on July 12th, and that will be from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on next week. All right, so that's very, very good. We're moving right along. And, of course, our food distribution, the Westminster Christian Worship Center, 2015 Morningside Avenue in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We have ours the fourth Wednesday of every month, and our next one will be July 23rd, and that's going to be 2015 Morningside Avenue in Atlantic City, and we do Client's Choice. Client's Choice means you bring your own bag and your own cart, and you select the items that you need, and we give away meats. We give away fresh produce from Seashore Gardens. We give away protein boxes that includes eggs, milks, cheese, yogurt, and we also have diapers and household products, and we have adult diapers as well, as long as baby diapers. So we are excited for that. Also, I want you to keep in mind, do you need help with minor home repairs? We can fix it. Atlantic County Fix It Program, Division of Intergenerational Services, available to county residents 60 years of age and older. You know, once I became over 60, you know, that doesn't seem old anymore. When I was younger, 60 was old. Woo, Lord have mercy. 60 and older, right? No labor costs will be charged, but the homeowner must pay for all materials used, and they repair and replace safety grab bars, wood handrails, lock door knobs, light bulbs, smoke detector batteries, wood steps, toilet parts, faucet shower heads. No, now they don't do any landscaping, they don't do any show snubbling or any concrete work. Only the things that I had named and mentioned. You can call toll free at 1-888-426-9243 or 609-645-5965. And I have really become an advocate for people who are dealing with disabilities or any type of anything since my surgery. And it's been a big deal for me to go to the low curve, you know, so I can get down properly. And, you know, all of this stuff that you take for granted, you know, with your health and all. I mean, I'm going to be fine. But my recovery process is a process and it is a journey. So now I'm looking for things that will help people with disabilities or anything like that. So I want you to take advantage of that. If you need those services, and it's all free, it doesn't cost you anything. All right, a little fun. If you're looking for something for your children to do, the Regal Theaters is having $1 family movies for the summer break. Now, I thought that was fantastic. My sister, Belle, keeps me informed with all the little kids stuff because my grandsons are grown. Well, the older two are. So I'm not really in tune to all of the things that are going on, but I appreciate the information. So the Regal Summer Movie Express is from June 10th to August the 6th, and it's $1 Movie Express tickets to the first show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So, with everything that is going on, people are looking forward to do things, but they may not have the money to do it. And you can find another way. So this is another way that they're giving back. And they also have the Pepsi popcorn, ice dipping dots, or a super pretzel. They have a special package for $5 for a snack pack. Before I would go to the movies, and it would cost me almost $40, $50. By the time you get the popcorn, the soda, and the ticket, and all of this. So I think this is a real good deal. And you can save an additional $3 when paired with any other order. So that includes the popcorn and everything. So I think that that's reasonable. So if you're looking for something to do with your children, you can do things that are reasonable and still have an enjoyable time during the summer. And I'm asking everybody to stay hydrated. Drink plenty. Of course, I'm drinking tea. I love to drink hot tea in the morning, but 1 cup is not bad. But you got to drink a whole lot of water with it, okay? So you're not dehydrated. I wanted to make sure that I announced that for you. Now, also, a free summer concert is coming up for the entire family. Gospel and jazz in the park. This is to benefit the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, featuring gospel duo Duncan and Rachel, Daryl Robinson and friends, and the United Gospel Singers. And this is going to be held Saturday, July 26th. 2025 and at 6:30 p.m. at the Tony Canale Park, Sycamore Avenue off of Dogwood Avenue in Egg Harbor Township. And the only thing they're asking for you to do is to bring a canned food item to benefit the Community Food Bank of the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And they're going to have vendors, food, ice cream, and things of that nature, all sponsored by the Newmont Calvary Baptist Church and Perfect Plan Professional Services. So I wanted to put that out there, and this is really dear to my heart because I'm a 501c3, and we get all of our food from the Community Food Bank. We would not be able to do what we do or have been able to do if it wasn't for the Community Food Bank. And a lot of things are happening right now where SNAP and different things are being eliminated and cut, and so these food pantries really need these items to help those that are in need. And thank God, if you don't need it and you're secure, thank God for where you are. But so many people may not be in the same position that you're in. Maybe to no fault of their own. I had a very good acquaintance who had saved all his money, and he was a millionaire. But he got sick, and all of his savings went to his health care, and he lost a lot. So you don't know. And I put on my page Michael Braxton Jr. He's a sergeant in the Lang City Police Department, and I put this on my page, and he was in a motorcycle accident, and he had something very profound. You could be perfectly normal, and a mishap happens, and you become disabled, just like that. And I mean, he's made us very proud, and he's ran in all kind of marathons and races and things of that nature. He didn't let that hinder him, but you just never know what life is going to deal you. What's going to be dealt with to you. So let's be a little more, compassionate. I want to say that. Let's just be a little more compassionate, because my mom always says, you know where you've been, but you don't know where you're going. All right? So I just wanted to say that. So I think that's a wonderful thing that they're going to be supporting the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, and I think that that's fantastic. And last but not least, auditions now are open. All right? Looking for male and female roles, and the auditions will be on July 22nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. And it's going to be held at the Directors Inc. Creative Arts Center in the Hamilton Mall. And the theme is Everyone Has a Story, Face the Giant. And this young lady, I met Aquila Daniels. I met her maybe a few months ago, and she's in a wheelchair. And she told her story to me on the other night on WOND that She went in for an operation at the age of 14 and woke up paralyzed. But she never let that stop her. She's an author. She's a business owner, and she just does so many things. And so she's doing this skit. And if you want to come and audition for the play or the skit, it's going to be a real production. You can go there on July 22nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. I love the arts. And so I'm going to be in it too, okay? So I'm just telling y'all that. I'm just excited. So now I'm very excited right now to have in the studio live and in color and in person Laurie Zalesky. Zalesky. No, I said it right. We're so happy. We met a few years ago. I went to visit the Funny Farm. I didn't know nothing about Funny Farm. I was running the Cape May Zoo and everywhere else, wanting to see animals, and I had them right in my own backyard. If you have not been to the Funny Farm, it's Funny Farm Rescue, it's a place that you need to go and take your children to go. And so just in case you don't know who Laurie Zalesky is, she is the founder and president of the Funny Farm Rescue. And this woman has been all over. Every time that she does something, I highlight it on my Facebook page because I'm really proud, especially when women are out there doing something, and I'm really proud of it. But just in case you don't know who she is, I just want you to say a little something about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Laurie Zalesky, owner and founder of the Funny Farm Rescue. I am a business owner. I own Artsy Graphics, so I do graphic design and photography. Everybody says, how did you start the Funny Farm? And the answer was not on purpose. My mother was going to be a nun and then married the devil, my father. So we escaped and we moved into a little shack in the woods, and she started rescuing animals. She started working at a shelter and started bringing home every animal that was going to be euthanized. And we lived in this little shack for $100 a month for 25, 26 years. And I had always promised her as a young girl that I would buy her a farm of her very own. And in my late 20s, she was diagnosed with cancer, and I bought where I live right now, where the Funny Farm is, and she died right before I made settlement on the property.
Oh, wow.
So her dream became my dream. You know, you were saying earlier, we don't know where we are going.
Right.
Well, I never envisioned myself having an animal rescue. Although I loved animals, this was, I was going down a path, and all of a sudden I made a hard right. And I said I was going to be traveling the world being a photographer, and thank goodness I did some traveling when I was younger, but my cowgirl boots are firmly planted in New Jersey now. So life happens when you're busy making other plans, and sometimes somebody has a bigger plan for us, right?
Wow.
Thelma, you know, you just never know.
Wow. And you know what? Before that song came out, Boots on the Ground. You already had your boots
firmly on the ground. That's
firmly
right.
on the ground. So I would like to know now, how many animals are out there at the Funny Farm?
So we have over 750 animals. We are the largest animal sanctuary in the Northeast. We were saying about fun places to go. We are top 10 places to visit with your family in all of New Jersey. So it's a great place. It is free to get in. You were saying giving back.
Right.
You know, a lot of what you said I was already like connecting with. Because my mother had no money, she had 3 children. She had nowhere to go. So my volunteers would be like, Laurie, we had 1,000 people there today. It would be $1,000 for us. I said, it doesn't matter. Some people don't have $1 for their kids.
Right.
So we leave it free to get in because of my mother. In her memory, I said, we have a donation bucket. If you have $1 or $5 or $10, $20, we would love for you to put it in. But if you can't, you can still come. We don't want to eliminate anybody. We want everybody to experience the animals and the joy that you feel when you walk through the gates of the Funny Farm. Because many of those 750 animals walk around loose, as you know. When you get there, I say, don't wear your best shoes when you come. We teach a kindness program because if all of these different species can get along, so can we as humans.
That's
true. It's such amazing. That's the one thing that when people come in through those gates, they say, I cannot believe how these animals all get along. And you know why? We let them be together. Everybody says, oh, we got to separate the dogs from the cats, the bird, blah, blah, blah. We grew up in a little tiny house, and they all lived in our house.
All those animals?
The 35 original ones. There was 35 original animals. We had a horse. We had a baby pig. We had a baby goat. We had chicken, goose. Yes, in my house. We had, back then, even wildlife, raccoon, opossum, skunk. And when you have baby skunks, they don't really spray. They do a little poof. So we kind of grew up with them all being, together.
So this was normal.
It was normal to me. So when I got this big farm, I bought a 15-acre farm from my mother. I'm like, I didn't know what to do with the space, but I didn't know any better, so I put everybody together. So now we've grown to 25 acres. Putting 750 on 15 is a little tight. It's still tight even with 25 acres, but it's an amazing place. We're only open 2 days a week because I still work at the FA Technical Center.
Oh, I didn't know you worked.
Yeah, I work. How are you supporting? I tell people, when you have a nonprofit, people ask me, how do you get going?
You
need
the money.
No matter what anybody says, you need money.
Right.
And you are not, nobody knew who I was. I bought the place in 2000. For 12 years, I did it on my own. I just was helping. I wasn't a real rescue. I was called the Funny Farm because my mother always called the original place the Funny Farm, our rental. And I'm like, Mom, why the Funny Farm? And she said, it's full of animals and fit for lunatics. Because we have all the special ones at the farm. The ones where most of those animals had little to no hope came to the farm. And that's, if they went and tried all the other places, there was nowhere else to go, they came to me. Or to my mother.
What a story. Now, I bought your book.
You did. Did you read it yet?
No.
Not yet. Wait till you read it. So
I'm going to read your book. I didn't read it yet.
It's only about animals, and it is not. It's an inspirational woman's book, and it's really like a love letter to my mother. Everybody says, like, when were you writing a book? My mom, we used to say, Mom, nobody would believe this stuff that went on in you got to write a book. She was too busy surviving.
Right.
And then I had a friend of mine kept saying, Lori, you need to write a book. I said, when am I doing that? And we spent a little bit almost every night, writing this book. And it was, I didn't realize I needed therapy until I wrote this book. It became therapy for me.
Right. So it was therapeutic.
It was very therapeutic. I tell anybody, if you had issues in your life, write about it.
Yeah.
Put it down somewhere, and it helps you get it out. I didn't realize how it affected me, growing up. It was my mom was in a very abusive relationship. She would have died if she had stayed with him.
Wow.
And
is your father still alive? Or?
No, you'll read that in the book.
Oh, that's in the book. Okay.
But that's okay. I'm a spoiler alert, but he did die, and I have to say, we did not have a relationship when he passed. We didn't have a relationship since I was 12. And there was a reason for that. You read about it and you'd be like, yeah, now I know why. I'm a very forgiving kind of a person, and I have forgiven him. My brothers and sisters have not.
Right.
So I had to be able to let it go for me because I could not sleep and I was having bad dreams. And then once I kind of let it go and I saw him as an adult, I let it go. And after that, I never really think about him anymore.
I think that's the reason why you were able to thrive.
Yes.
And the love that you have for the animals that you rescue is from your own personal story.
Yes.
And I never knew that.
Yeah.
So now you're going to make me go read this book.
Well,
I'm going to dig that book up and go read it.
Yeah, when you read the book, it's called Funny Farm, My Unexpected Life with 600 Rescue Animals, because I never thought I was going to own an animal rescue. Most people say, oh, you're living my dream. And I'm like, do you want to trade for a week? Because I love my life, but it is a lot.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I've sacrificed, travel and probably relationships and, because these animals are everything to me, and they are my number one. And so that's it. They really are.
Well, now, let me ask you this. Now, you have over 700 animals. What different species do you have?
Almost every farm animal that you can think of. We have cows, horses, pigs, goats, ducks, chickens, geese, alpacas, donkeys, cats and dogs, of course. We're not really a cat and dog rescue, but we have more cats than some of the cat rescues. So we are full in some of the departments now. And we are volunteer run. If anyone wants to volunteer, they can volunteer any day. So it's 7 days a week.
Wow.
Whether sometimes kids have to do it for, community service for their programs for school. Sometimes it's community service if you get in a little bit of trouble.
Right.
And it's a great place. And you know, people think, oh, I don't want to, go hang out with animals. There's something to it when you are filling their waters or brushing them or whatever the job is that you want it to do when you come. It is fulfilling. So, we have over 100 volunteers there.
Wow.
And it's amazing how many people. I'm thinking, who's going to come help me for free? Who would do that? Like when people said, we want to help, I'm thinking, who would do it? We have so many people and so many great volunteers. Without them, I can't take care of 750 animals myself.
No. And I know Roseanne Weiss.
Longtime friend. I worked with her at the FAA first.
Right.
She retired and then
came over.
She's in her 70s and
she
she's working.
loves it.
Yes, she does.
And when she talks about it, she was the first person that, when I came, I said, Roseanne, you were here? And she said, yes, I'm a volunteer.
Uh-huh.
Here and she said, you gotta meet Lori. You gotta meet Lori.
Yes, I do remember meeting you. It was wonderful.
It was wonderful. And so now the horses don't walk around by these.
There's two horses that walk around by themselves. One is a mini. Her name's April, and then we have Sparkles. So she's a pony. So the larger ones, now a lot of these animals, people get confused. They're like, is it a petting zoo? It feels like a petting zoo because you can pet everybody for the most part. Though some of the horses are racetrack rescues and their scars run deep and they remember.
Oh.
So if you try and take a selfie, you might get a little nibble in the back of, on your shoulder, your back. We tell everybody you have to sign a waiver before you come. That's our only caveat to coming. Because the animals do walk around loose, you might get a goose give you a little kiss with their hard beak on your leg. So I know, there's a lot of people are like, they're scared. You have to like animals. If you don't like animals, not the place for you. Because they will come up to you if you don't go up to them. We have a donkey. You'll be standing at the store. You can buy food if you want, but it could still be a free day. But if you want to buy a little bucket of food, they're $4. And the donkey will come up and like push you with their head in your butt until you turn around and they're like, okay, I'm right here. Like, I'll be your first animal to feed, but you can feed everything. It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. And I think it's a great way for people to come and find out about nature and animals in a safe space.
Yes, it is very safe. And, we've had little things, but knock on wood, we haven't had anything big. We don't let out. We have two big, gigantic bulls that are loose, but they're very slow. They walk very slowly. We have Yogi and T-Bone, and they are 2,500 pounds, and one is 2,000 pounds.
Oh.
So they're big. You just have to watch the little pointy things to not stand too close.
Yeah, now I don't think I saw Yogi.
Yogi was just in the news. He's very popular. He was not able to get up one day and laid down flat. He made national news because we put a call out. Very rarely do we ask for help, but we put a call out on Facebook and said, please come help us. And all these people came. This guy came with a crane, got him up. We were able to work their legs back.
Wow.
Yep. And he started walking, and everybody thought he was going to have to die, and he didn't.
With just a little tender, loving care.
That's exactly right.
Now let me ask you this: because of this and what you've gone through, you have a program for kindness.
Yes.
And anti-bullying program. How did you start it?
So just, I don't have human children, but we have schools that visit. I go to schools, and I have friends, obviously, with kids, and I'm hearing all these things, and I'm hearing about kids killing themselves and suicide, and I'm like, I was just beside myself. I had no idea how bad it had gotten, since I was a kid. And, there was always anti-bullying. There's always bullying. Like, I was bullied because I was so tall. I'm 5'10".
Yeah. I was bullied because I had red hair.
Right. So we all get bullied for different things, right?
Right.
So, so I have my social media guy, Matt Reeves. We were writing a book together, and one was about if all these different species can get along, so can we as humans. The other one is about never giving up in disabilities. You were talking about disabilities earlier.
Oh, my goodness.
We say, nobody knows what we're feeling on the inside, so we should always be kind to one another. You don't know, even if you don't have an outward disability or you don't have a disability, if, say, you have a problem with your family or, you have somebody is in your family that has problems, you don't know what that person is going through in their life. So we should always be kind. Even if somebody is not being kind to you,
that's true.
You take the high road and you be kind. When somebody's kind of mean to me, I'm actually more kind to them, thinking, well, somewhere, somehow, there's something bad in their life and they need me to be kind. And your words can make a difference. I mean,
Right.
I've had people say, you and this farm saved my life.
Wow.
There were people that were suicidal that were coming, and then they found the farm, and it became, everything to them. And then the third one is all about, how people are kind of confused on who, what, where, what color, what sex they're. Who cares? We say just be the best you that you can be.
Right.
We don't need a label. Just be you, do you, and be the best you that you can be. And always be kind. Again, let's try and make a difference in this world.
And so you do that program at the farm?
At the farm on Tuesday, we do 2 demonstrations with our mega esophagus dogs. They have to sit up in a high chair.
Well, you gotta hold that because we're getting ready for a commercial
Okay,
break. I
sure.
don't want to leave that out.
All right, we'll hold that.
Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Hawks Janitorial Contractors Corp. was established in 1987 by husband and wife team William and Elaine Hawks. Our motto is a great job at a fair price. The Hawks team is skillful, customer-focused, delivering quality janitorial services that meet and exceed our clients' specific needs. Hawks Janitorial Contractors Corp., proud sponsors of Gospel 88.7 FM. For more information, 609-484-0452.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much,
for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot, for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by
Do you have an
AARP
event coming up and need a facility? Well, let me tell you about Atlantic County's newest banquet facility, Beacon Hall, located in the heart of Egg Harbor City, right off the White Horse Pike. Beacon Hall is a full-service banquet facility that is 5,000 square feet with an attached parking lot. Book your conferences, book signings, birthday parties, bridal showers, baby showers, weddings, repasts. No event is too big or too small. You can book your next event by calling us at 609-965-4255 or email us at bookbeaconhall@gmail.com. That's BOOKBEACONHALL @gmail.com. Try Beacon Hall, where we turn moments into cherished memories.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her.
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve. Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human
Hawks,
Services.
a name that has been trusted for almost 30 years in the janitorial services industry, is proud to present Hawks Professional Moving Services. Fully insured, local and long distance, packing services, commercial and residential, no job too small or too large, friendly and reliable services. For more information or a free estimate, 609-484-0452. Hawks Professional Moving Services, where we treat your belongings like our own.
Tune in to In the Key of G with Bishop John Gandy every third Thursday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., featuring religious talk, hot topics, and interviews with interesting guests, right here on Gospel 88.7 and 100.3 FM WEHA.
If you just tune in, you're listening to In the Community with Dr. Thelma Witherspoon and First Lady Parrish right here on your 2-time Stellar Award-winning gospel radio station, WEHA Gospel 88.7, 100.3 FM. We have gospel. All right, and as we often do, we also give a shout-out to those that are watching us on today. Bishop Wandell Johnson, we're praying for your recovery. Thank you so much for listening to us. Darby Hamlet, Carolyn Barksdale. Oh, I lost my little comments here. Carolyn, good morning, Dr. Witherspoon, Lady Parrish, WEHA, your guests and listeners on today. Mary Parrish says, hi, Lori. Babs Dawn, good morning. Deborah Dozier, good morning, Dr. Witherspoon, Lady Parrish, always tuning in, and good morning to the guests and her specialty in animals in her home. Okay, all right. And then we have Darby Hamlet, as I said earlier. And those that don't come on to tell me that you're listening, we want to thank you so much for tuning into our show on today. I'm glad to be back, and you know that this is being sponsored by the Hawks Family Businesses, who's been supporting the community for close to 40 years, and Beacon Hall, turning moments into memories. All right? And we're here with our special guest, Laurie Zaleski. I'm going to get this thing right. And she is the president and founder of the Funny Farm Rescue, which I had the opportunity to go out and see the animals, and she's telling the truth. They're all walking around while you are out. Yeah. And you can buy food, you can buy a book, you can buy, they have a gift store, they have different things, you can feed the animals, and it's just a nice way for your family to have something to do if you're looking for something for the family to do. Now listen, I also know that we were talking about some of the famous dogs with the mega esophagus. What does that mean?
So, we were just saying that we take in animals that have little or no hope, and a lot of them are mega esophagus dogs. Their esophagus is from interbreeding,
right?
When they're trying to keep the line strong for German Shepherds. That's the biggest breed that has it. Their esophagus, it's a birth defect, and their esophagus is enlarged. So it's a moving muscle, so there is no operation to fix it, and it squeezes the food down into their stomachs. So basically, these dogs die of starvation at a very young age. Wow. So I had my first one. His name was Chuck, short for Upchuck. Blah. He would eat and then automatically upchuck his food. One of the women I work with at the FAA bought him from a breeder. That's why we say adopt, don't shop. And she told me about this. I said, take him to the vet. She did. She found out it was mega esophagus. She was going to take him to the pound, and I said, they're going to kill him. And she said, oh, no, he's really cute. I said, bring him to work tomorrow. So she brings him to the FAA. I bring him home. I do all this research, and I taught that dog to sit up in a high chair, like a car seat, within 1 hour, and I was feeding him out of a baby bottle. And the University of Penn I took him to get a double check, and they said, same thing, you should euthanize him. And I said, we all know that somebody that died too young, too soon, by accident, unexpected, nobody is promised tomorrow.
Right.
So why can't we just let if they're not suffering and they're getting some food, let them be. So I said, if he's only going to live 6 months, then he's going to live the best 6 months then ever here at the Funny Farm. So we did. He lived longer than a year. He lived longer than 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. He made it to 5 years and 1 month before he passed away.
Wow.
So can you imagine we would have robbed him? In dog years,
yes,
that's old.
That's
older. That's older. I know a lot of people that lost their dogs younger that don't have that. So but when he died, it was the hardest death that I've ever had to deal with, and other than losing my mother. And let me tell you, I wound up getting another dog, Tucker, who I have today, and he was only 7 weeks, same exact thing, German Shepherd, and it wound up healing my heart. I say, if you lose, and I know people aren't ready right away, but give it a month. But go rescue somebody else. Your heart will be full because you're helping someone else.
That's true.
And then that dog is giving you that love that you're missing. It's different than the love that you have for people, for humans. It's that animal love is so unconditional. So anyway, now I have 3 of them. Tucker just went through a very bad surgery. He has mega esophagus, but he wound up getting aspiration pneumonia. His stomach shut. He wasn't able to get food. people were like, you should euthanize them. And of course, I don't give up. My mom taught me never give up.
Never give up.
And, the bill was expensive. It was $25,000, but we raise money.
Oh,
we never do GoFundMes. We always say, we're going to come up with something fun. People will buy tickets or come or whatever. And that's how we raise our money.
Well,
we get people involved.
Wow,
and do something fun.
That's amazing. You love that dog.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I know some people said, I wouldn't pay that for some of the people I know.
I didn't say that. I went to Applebee's maybe about 4 years ago, and I'm not saying that was that dog, not Tucker. But when I went there was a dog sitting up in the chair in Applebee's.
Wow.
And I could not hardly eat my
food. You were watching?
I was watching the dog.
Was the dog eating?
I couldn't even look to see, but he was sitting straight up. Yeah,
that is so funny. So they might, if your dog is, a service dog, you probably could bring him. I bring Tucker almost everywhere, but to eat, they actually back into their own chair and sit up. It looks like a box. We call it their height chair. It's called a Bailey chair.
Oh.
And they back in, sit up, and then their food has to go down by gravity. That's all it is. It's nothing special. They don't have to have medications. But people freak out. They're like, why is the dog in a chair? Does he not walk? Is there all these problems?
Yeah, but I wouldn't care if he was at the funny farm,
Right.
But not in Applebee's.
Oh, you can use it at Applebee's. I see.
You know what I'm saying? Because now
see.
I'm trying to look, and then I'm trying not to look, but then I'm looking, and I'm trying not to look.
Well, he's family to those people. That's all.
Well,
it would be like you having a furry kid. That's all.
I know. After hearing you today, I can understand the love. I had a dog growing up.
Yeah.
I did. His name was Thorpe. Thorpe.
Aww.
Yeah, so we loved him. We loved Thorpe too.
Yeah,
so he lived a long life. Nice. Now let's move off of that. The mega esophagus.
Right.
You were on the Kelly Clark show.
Yes. Can you believe it? That was so exciting.
And you got a lot of fame for that. How did you? What was your experience?
It was unbelievable. So when I wrote the book, Kelly Clarkson's show reached out, but so did Leslie Stahl. So I wound up doing the Leslie Stahl show. And when you're not a celebrity, you can only pick one national show to do.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either. So I picked Leslie Stahl, CBS Sunday Morning. She came to the farm. She was wonderful. They came back with their family later. And then 2 years go by, and Kelly wound up contacting me again. And you have to do like a Hi Kelly video. And they said, great, can you come next Thursday? It was like all of a sudden, like wham, bam. And we drove up to New York with the animals. We were only allowed certain animals. We weren't allowed a dog. They said some people were allergic. So we brought Ruby, the baby goat, the naughty baby goat. Was about a year. And then I have baby ducks, and I also brought Adele, the diva chicken. She's the one who has the third book. So it was funny. Down here, they would say, Atlantic County woman and her diva chicken Adele to appear on Kelly Clarkson. It was all about my chicken. And she is famous, and her nails are painted, and she lives in the house. She does wear a poopy diaper because you cannot potty train a chicken. I've tried. But anyway, that was amazing. And I actually sat on her couch. I sat next to one of the other celebrities who brought my goat out, and it was just such an experience. And she was so nice. She was so nice.
Well, now you were talking about that, since we're on that. You were voted Remarkable Woman of the Northeast.
Yes.
I know you were honored in Los Angeles with Jennifer Hudson. How does it feel to have such an honor?
Oh, it was incredible. Sometimes I'm kind of like, I'm having this outer body experience because you said you don't know where your mom told you don't know where you're going. So nobody knew this. So if somebody were to tell me that this would be going on in my life, I would never, ever believe it. But I am so thankful because it just brings more attention to these animals that need help. That's the main thing. It's fun to be like, oh, look where I was, but it's not about that. It is about them. And it does bring a lot more attention to our mission and helping animals in need.
Wow. Now, I heard that the Funny Farm Rescue and Sanctuary is voted one of the top 10 places. You talked about this to visit in all of New Jersey. Yes. How did that happen?
So I was shocked because there's a lot of really fun, cool places. I mean, we beat out some places that I never thought we would. And I think, number one, it's a free place. You can, where can you go? I think people, when they're rating it, they were like, well, that place is cool, but it's $25 to get in,
Right.
So I think that's one of the reasons that and it is really cool. If you go to animal sanctuaries or visit, zoos or anything, people, all the kids say, would you rather go, the parents say, you want to go to the zoo or the funny farm? The kids go, the funny farm. They
Right.
love it because you get such interaction. They are not behind glass. They are not behind, some are behind fences,
Right.
but they can still kind of stick their heads out. You can still get bit if you're not careful. You have to know what to do. We kind of give you a little education on that. We go to schools. We were talking about, the kindness program. We go to schools, they come to us. So I think that we're out there. It's about community outreach too.
That's true.
A lot of places are just kind of like there and they expect everybody to come to them.
Right.
You need to go out and show
Right.
what you do. And we start kids at a very early age. We're the one place that you can volunteer at any age. I don't care if you're 3 or 83. If you're 3 years old and you want to come and brush or pet a cat and get them acclimated or help do waters, we start them as young as we can. You have to, if you're under 15, you just have to come with a parent.
Right.
We don't want anybody getting in trouble. You can't just dump off your kids, but it's
Right. It's not a babysitting
it's not
center.
a babysitting center. No, it is not. So but if you're 16 years old, you can come and you have a job to do. You'll have one orientation. If you want to sign up, you go to funnyfarmrescue.org. Top of the page, it'll say get involved, and you just fill out volunteer, and my volunteer coordinator will call you. You set up a time, and then you can come any day, 7 days a week.
Now, the funny farm is not like being on a safari.
So it's funny you said that. Somebody was driving in, and they said, this is like great adventure when you used to drive. I don't know if you remember when you used to drive through, and the monkeys would be on your roof. I mean, when you sign your waiver, it signs your waiver for your vehicle, too, because we have been known to have peacocks on people's roofs. I say you have to drive in as slow as you possibly can, but there are animals walking around everywhere. Sometimes we have to, move the donkeys so you can get into your parking spot. But when you get into your parking spot, you better get out quick because you're liable to have somebody jump in. You're going to have a stowaway.
Now, when you had, you had a fundraiser. I'm going to call it a fundraiser or something. You had a special place to park, and the bus drove you.
That's our fall festivals. That
Right.
day, we have no parking on the farm.
Okay.
That day, we have you park at St. Augustine Prep. It's
That's
the
correct.
boys' school. And we
Right.
have buses that will bring you. There are some lots, near there, but normal days, Tuesday, Sunday, you can drive right into the funny farm. You just have to drive slowly because they are loose. You're laughing. And then there'll be an emu. You know what an emu is? It's a little bit smaller than an ostrich, cannot
Right.
fly, run 40 miles an hour. They come right up to you, and if you have a bucket, they're not asking. They just stick their head in your bucket and start eating.
Right.
And they look like something out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit like a safari sometimes.
Right, but not as dangerous.
Not as dangerous, correct. No,
Right,
they're
not
not.
as dangerous.
We would not put people in danger.
Right.
Now remember, they are live animals.
Right.
And it is not a petting zoo, so they are not trained to just be pet by people. However, we leave the safe ones be out, and you can enjoy as long as you're listening, and you feed with a flat hand. If you're feeding food, you don't go like this. They will bite your fingers.
Right. So you teach them.
Yes,
you
we
tell
teach them when you're buying the food, a flat hand. Keep
Right.
it. Yep.
A flat hand.
And then the horse really, they can't
Yeah.
bite you that way.
Right.
Don't go like this. they can't differentiate your carrot from your finger.
Right. So the farm is free to come to. Is the parking free?
Parking is free too. Yes,
Okay.
it is all free to do. Like I said, I wanted to give back. We do have a barn in the back that you can rent for birthday parties, weddings.
I was going to talk about
Yes, so
that.
it's kind of a secret. We don't advertise it anywhere other than us talking because we only want animal people there. It is not for everybody. The first wedding we ever had, Cowboy the Naughty Goat came and ate all the flowers off the aisle while the people were saying their vows. So everybody laughed, minus the bride. She did not think that was very funny. Now she laughs.
Yeah, but
at the time, I was like, hold on, time out, let me get the goats. So we try, and then
So if you rent the farm, if you barn out, right? It's state of the art.
It is. It's beautiful
It's very
inside.
beautiful.
People think it's a Are the
Like a
horses going to be
stable.
in there? It is not a stable. It has wooden teak floors, twinkle lights. It's beautiful enough, pretty enough for,
Right.
It's a small venue on like less than 100 people. And nowadays, people are doing things simply. We do a lot of first birthday parties because your house isn't big enough for all the
Right.
people that want to come for your 1-year-old's birthday party. And our very first one that we ever did, the dogs jumped in and ate the birthday cake out of the people's SUV before they even unloaded their car. So you have to understand this. 100% of that rental goes to the animals. It is a donation to them. You'll have somebody help you. She's a volunteer that will help you set up, break down, show you the ropes. You get a tour included. The child will get a Funny Farm shirt. So it's a great deal.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that, but I would want the animals to stay out.
Well, the animals can stay out.
They
They can stay out. Right. They have doors. Like
Right.
you have to be careful. Sometimes they're there and they can be pushy. You say, no, you have to stay out. And that's why the volunteer's there to help you.
Okay.
And now where you get married, we have a garden. You can get married out back in the garden, so we can keep the animals out that way too. Because let me tell you, with 750 animals, it was tough maintaining, like, all right, leave them alone until they at least get married. So we have changed things up a little bit. We have a little waterfall back there. It's all, since you've been there, it's very much changed. We just got the waterfall this year.
Yeah,
It's
because you didn't have the
beautiful.
waterfall.
Yeah,
when
it's
I was
beautiful.
there. Is it expensive to rent?
So for a birthday party, it's $450. You get the barn for 3 hours. You come an hour before and an hour after to break down and set up and clean up. But yeah, and you get a really cool venue, but then you're helping.
Right. At the
somebody
same
else.
time, that
Right.
money goes to
the animals.
To
right.
the animals.
Mhm. So we're very good about coming up with things about how to raise money without going, please help me.
Without begging.
We're not like Sarah McLachlan, like, oh, look at these sad animals. We talk about where they're going, not where they came from. Because everybody knows those sad stories, right?
Right.
We don't need to go
Everybody
there.
has a sad story.
Everybody has a sad story.
Yeah,
Right.
right,
We
so-
want to say this is where they're going. Let's band together to help them.
So now, what should people wear? I think I wore the right thing.
I always say, don't wear your high heels and
Right,
don't wear
right.
your flip-flops. No open-toed shoes. Don't wear your beautiful brand new white sneakers. Wear your older sneakers. What you'd play in. Your play clothes, as my mom would call it when we were kids. Wear your play clothes. And if a cow slobbers on you, not a big deal. It'll wash out. It's not like you're going to get big stains unless the goats jump up. Sometimes they can, grind that into your clothes. But
Well, I'm
mostly,
glad I didn't get that experience when I was there, because I would have probably fell out. I didn't mind them walking around, but like.
So did you have food? You didn't have food then?
No, I didn't. That's probably
the
why.
difference.
That's the
if
difference.
you don't want as big of an animal experience, don't get the food.
Okay.
If they see you with food, they're like, hello, I'm Eeyore. I would really like to meet you. They're right up on you if you have some food.
All right.
They'll come see you anyway, but they won't be jumping up.
They
on
won't be jumping on you. So
Right.
don't wear any open-toe shoes or.
Yep, and just not your best. Maybe not white is not
Right.
a great color. But
No.
otherwise, you can. We've had people with flip flops. You just have to be careful. So it's not like we kick you out. You wear whatever you want. You sign that waiver.
Yeah. Now, you have a Funny Farm show.
We do. We do a little podcast. Like it started during COVID because when the governor shut everybody down, I mean, we're outside. I thought it would be not a problem. He said, no, nobody is open. They shut us down for over a month and people went nuts because these animals, I share them with everybody like they feel like it's their animals. When
Right.
we lose one, people are crying like it's their own pet. And when we couldn't share that, we didn't know what to do. So we decided to go live so they can see what's happening. At least they can see their favorite animal.
So you started a podcast.
So we started on Facebook Live.
Right.
Facebook Lives. We do from 10 to 11 every Sunday. So we wound up getting worldwide attention because of it. People watch it. And then one thing is because we're not sad. It's funny. It's called the Funny Farm for a reason. There's
Right.
enough of that. And that's okay if other sanctuaries want to go on that, but that's just not who we are. That is not our brand.
Right.
And you can and people say, it's hard because some people are trying to go to church and then they have to
Right.
watch it later.
Right.
Some people say that is their church. Whatever is good for that person. You can watch it whenever. You don't have to watch it live. And it's very interactive. If you have a question, you can say something. And we eventually will answer all those questions. We get so many followers that watch us.
You have a lot
we have
of
a lot of followers.
followers.
Yeah.
And they say if you get a lot of followers, It's not your algorithm, right? It's you. It's the person.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Well, like I said, we try and be happy. I don't have my eyelashes on today, but I get a little glitzy. And when in the beginning, my girlfriends were like, girl, you need to put some eye makeup on because I was a farmer girl. I wasn't funny farm Barbie, So now I try and so it's a little bit of a fashion show too. I say, look at my boots.
Oh, look at those.
Can you see? They're very sparkly.
Yeah, they got sparkles and everything.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
So, and then, you wear some fun stuff. So it's not just one thing. It's the animals and it's fun. And then I fight with my co-host, Matt Reeves, the video guy. He's the one who wrote the books. He and I, butt heads all the time. Right. And then it's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. There's other people there. Yeah. I have my friend Kim who's on in the snack bar. We have a snack bar for people, not real food, but snacks. And she bakes every week to help the animals. She was a culinary specialist in her prior life. Wow. So people bring to the table, whatever they can do to help. It's amazing.
All right. So the money's in when people rent the barn, that money goes toward. If they buy the books,
everything goes to the animals.
Everything goes to the animals.
That's why I have a full-time job. People are like, how come you have a full-time job? And I'm like, well, I have a mortgage to pay. Right. I'm not getting paid by the funny farm, so I need to make my money, and that's what I've been doing. I've been there 34 years in my job. Wow.
And so is that where you do your graphic design?
I do graphic design and photography. I own Artsy Graphics. That's the company that I started way back when my mom was sick, and I was trying, I had to quit my job to care for her. And so I was doing freelance work, and that's how it started.
Oh, wow. So now, so that's how you pay to feed the animals?
So that's how I paid to feed the animals in the beginning. That's when I became a nonprofit. Remember I told you for 12 years I was just doing it on my own? When my bills got to be $4,000 a month just for feed, I went, how am I going to do this? So that's when I became a nonprofit. I just wanted it to get a tax break on my feed. Right. $7,000, $4,000 and 7% of that is a lot.
Was that a month?
That was a month. Now it's $10,000 a month for feed. Because I have so many animals, right? So now the farm is self-supportive. We get enough donations. And I think because of Leslie Stahl and Kelly Clarkson and we do a lot of community outreach, and then we have people, you can be a group and come. So like Atlantic Electric, they come and they volunteer and then they raise money or they bring donations. Right. So everybody gets involved. All the schools that come, they usually get donations that they bring. So it's like, the community really gets involved and helps out. So my job is there for when we get the Tucker bill for the $27,000, bill from University of Penn. So I always will have a job. I will never go out of business. Never.
What's the Tucker bill?
That's the dog that has the esophagus that had the feeding tube put in.
Oh, yeah.
He was at the University of Penn for 10 days.
Oh, my God.
So, they were like, are you sure? He's a rescue dog. I'm like, I am all in, people. Like, he's like my child. I mean, they all are. I have 12 dogs in my house. 35 cats, a cockatoo.
In the house?
In the house, yep. The baby goat, yeah. Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of just live there. It's really the animal house. It isn't as bad as it sounds. I have a cleaning lady once a week. She comes in her Tyvek suit.
Oh, my goodness. So, well, I guess those animals are trained because I knew someone that had a lot of cats. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say where I worked, but everybody knows where I worked. And she was an excellent cook. Mm-hmm. And the officers told me that the cats and stuff would be jumping all over the counter, while she was cooking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, oh, I didn't know
I don't cook for places. I usually buy things if I'm going someplace. And it's not because they're jumping up on the counters. It's just there's hair. There's hair. I have two things that suck in your air and clean purifiers, air purifiers. And let me tell you, I have to clean them daily. So,
you really love that.
You know what? It is not the way I envisioned on living my life, but I would not change it if I could.
Now, are your siblings? You had two. Are they involved?
No. They were like, all right, Laura, you're good, right? Here you go. Here's those animals. You're good, right? So if I have a real emergency, I can call them and be like, help me. But my volunteers are like my extended family now, and volunteers and visitors. I mean, they all help me. If I say we need help, very rarely do we say Funny Farm needs help. When we had the cow go down, we went, we need help. And they came out in droves. So my social media guys started videoing. It could have ended so badly. That cow could have died. And I was like, what were you I didn't even know he was videoing. He was doing a live video. He said the response from the community is what he was just in awe about. He was like, I cannot believe all these people came out. You know why? We don't cry wolf. If we're asking for help, we need help. Right. So we save those,
This is just a wonderful story. I'm so elated that you consented to come on my show.
Thank you so much for having me. You are I was just telling Thelma earlier, I said, you are the most amazing host that I have been with. I feel like I'm talking to my girlfriend here.
All right, thank you. What would you like to leave with our listening audience today?
Well, just please come visit the Funny Farm. We're open Tuesdays and Sundays, 8 to 4. And always be kind. That is our motto. Be kind, whether it's animal or human.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Right, well, you are a phenomenal woman. I can understand why you was chose Woman of the Year for the Northeast.
Thank you,
are
sweetheart.
A beautiful person, and I believe all of our experiences shape us.
I agree. I 100% agree.
They shape us. People wonder why you had so much compassion for this. It's a part of whatever you've gone through in your life. And so it's wonderful. I wish you, it won't be my last time at the Funny Farm. I think I'm retired now from my job. So Tuesdays would be better for me than Sundays. But Sundays, let's talk about, we got a couple seconds, your upcoming events. You have a couple upcoming events?
Yes, we have a golf tournament. It's totally sold out. We just had a hayride. We do events all the time. So if you just watch Facebook or Instagram, and then it's usually on our website as well. So we do a spring and a fall festival that you were talking about where it's big. We usually raise about $30,000 in one day.
Wow.
That's how many people we have come.
Yes.
But then we have a lot of little things because, again, we're always doing something to keep us going.
You know what I like about your nonprofit? You don't beg.
We're not beggars. And I think everybody could do that. You just have to do fun things. Let's do fun things.
Right.
People will come.
Right.
They'll come out.
When they see that you're really doing something and you're compassionate about what you're doing, you will. Did you enjoy our program today? I know you did. Thanks for tuning in to In the Community with Dr. Thelma Witherspoon and First Lady Parrish right here on your 2-time Stellar Award-winning gospel radio station, WEHA Gospel, 88.7, 100.3 FM. We have gospel. And if you have not been to Funny Farm Rescue, I'm encouraging you to go out there and see it. Take your family. You're going to have a wonderful time. Keep those dials locked. We'll see you on next week.
WEHA is a listener-supported radio station, and the program you just heard and enjoyed has been made possible by the contributions of you, the listeners. To make a donation, call us at 609-641-8870. Visit our headquarters at 3 Canal Drive, Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, 08234, or log on to our website, wehavegospel.com.
Would you like to hear your company or church announcements or church broadcast on the airwaves of WHA? You can call our business office at 609-641-8870 for further details.